Hey there, Eric O'Sullivan. It's Reverend Sully, your irreverent reverend of all things geeky, the anti-pope and guru of Xanadu, ordained on the internet, 31st of March, 1998. Welcome to the Sunday Sermon. What do we have today? We're going to do the Old Notebook, Part 5. Yes, indeed. This is an old notebook I found in a box of comic books in one of my long boxes. And I wrote this about 11 years ago now. And was reading the Bhagavad Gita. And I'm a chef. So I wake up early in the morning. So first thing to work, I'm reading the Gita. And I'm also writing what that passage of the day meant to me. And so I wrote down the passage, the date, and my quick elaboration. And I also wrote this into a smaller notebook. I usually carry small notebooks and pens with me. You know, when you never know when you have a dirty joke, a good story idea, or at this point in my life, some great YouTube content. And for me, I'm a chef, so I write things down. Don't waste time, and just you need something, you write it down. And I count calories too. I lost 65 pounds. I'm living proof it works. It worked for me. You know, may you find your own way to carry your weight. I heard the Beatles for some reason, but let's get to it. It is Sunday. It is time for the Sunday sermon. Thank you so much for tuning in. God bless you. Namaste and good luck. I mean, I have so much gratitude for all the spiritual people tuning in right now. Let's pick up where we left off. And I think we left off at this page right here. Today we're gonna start off with some cultural literacy of the United States of America. I wrote this down on March the 15th, 2011, and this is chapter 11, verse 32. Does that ring a bell? Does that set off any alarms? Is that you see? You see what I'm talking about yet? No. This is, actually a pretty famous Gita quote. And it's Sri Krishna. And he's saying to Arjuna, as he's given Arjuna divine vision to see his true aspect as Brahman, this infinite being. You know, we, as humans, we need to have these limited senses, because if we saw the glory of the Lord, so to speak, we would be overwhelmed with inaction, with fear, with doubt, with exhilaration, or whatnot. I mean, it's hard to be mortal and to deal with our limited senses. But Sri Krishna says to Arjuna, I am time, the destroyer of all. I have come to consume the world. Even without your participation, all the warriors gathered here will die. Remember, Arjuna was having a panic attack before the Great Civil War. He literally drops his bow and says, I will not fight. Which is a shame, because he's the ultimate warrior for the good guys. He's their huge hero, and they will win, and the forces of Dharma will be restored. And Krishna cannot win without Arjuna. But this is just something that Arjuna is just going to have to go through and deal with, and come to his realization that he needs to get up and fight. But speaking of fighting, this is what Dr. Robert Oppenheimer said at Los Alamos, at the detonation of the test detonation of the atomic bomb. This is that famous line. Sometimes it's translated as "I am become death," and the destroyer of all things. And there's room for translation there. So Yeah, and it just simply said Oppenheimer at Los Alamos, which is very famous. And the next verse I wrote down was from March the 18th of 2011. And remember, I'm on the bus going to work. I'm not having a great time in my new work environment. I'm not getting along with a lot of my coworkers. They were a cloistered bunch. I had an active workplace bully, which was humiliating as a grown man. And there was no recourse because you need merit to support claims, or it's one person's word against the other. Remember that. And you also wonder why people are just glued to their smartphones and have this level of surveillance, of this cinema verita of life that we've inherited with the TikToks and even our very own YouTube videos. And let's have a sip real quick. Oh yeah, some freshly brewed coffee. Big part of my day. My dentist asked, "Do you drink coffee?" I'm like, "Yes." She's like, "Can you maybe not?" I'm like, "No." Oh, darn good cuppa. The next one is chapter 14, verses 21 and 22. And I'm excited here because I've written it down in bold and I've elaborated with a little pre-emoticon emoji kind of symbolisms I used to like to draw. You know, my drawings. And this is a part of a conversation between Arjuna and Sri Krishna. And Arjuna is now starting to come out of his funk. There are only 4 more chapters left in the poem. So this is Act 3. And so we're beyond the nadir. We're back to the climb. We're getting up to the climax. And then the denouement and closure. It is really a classic act structure. It's amazing how accessible this is, and how reliable the act structure is when telling stories. It's wonderful. But let's get on with it. Arjuna, and as always, remember that Sanjaya can see everything and hear everything from afar, from his hilltop, where he's describing everything to the blind regent, Didisratra. I'm sorry if I butchered his name. I'm sorry. And so yeah, that's part of the narrative is knowing the entire time the narrator actually is Sanjaya. And who is, I think, us. He's our vehicle. Sometimes I think I'm Arjuna because I'm the warrior. I'm the chef on the battlefield, in the kitchen, in the marketplace, fighting the forces of the day, doing my duty in Dharma, operating a retail marketplace full of delicious and nutritious and beautiful food for hungry guests of all types. There's a lot there for me. But also I never lose fact that I'm also Sanjaya. I am very much Sanjaya. I am just reporting this to you. So this is Arjuna, and he's asking questions now. And he's asking questions of Krishna. Krishna has revealed himself to his best friend as the avatar of Brahman, the mover of all things. And he comes every once in a while to restore Dharma on earth. Yeah. And Christians, I see a big correlation between Krishna and Christ. I think they're the same person, different eras, in different places, with the same mission: to restore cosmic truth and unity with the Lord. The kingdom of the Lord resides within us. That's what Jesus said. Krishna said almost the same stuff here. But Arjuna says, "What are the characteristics of those who have gone beyond the gunas, O Lord? How do they act? How have they passed beyond the gunas' hold?" This is important. The gunas are the 3 forces of the material world: sattva, rajas, and tamas. Sattva being like honor and wisdom and good forces. Rajas being anger and fire and creative energy too. And tamas being inertia, sloth, a neutral state of coasting. And the gunas are a big part. You need to understand the gunas. You need to understand karma. You need to understand also the difference between akarma and vikarma. Karma is a very appropriated term here in the West. We think it's sin. It goes much beyond that. So there are like institutional knowledges involved with with the Bhagavad Gita and Hinduism and the Vedas and understanding, the Mahabharata. So yeah, that was Arjuna. He's asking like, how does one transcend the gunas? So Sri Krishna answers in 22 and in 23. I'll read both. Sri Krishna says, Sri Bhagavan Raja, they are unmoved by the harmony of sattva, the activity of rajas, or the delusion of tamas. They feel no aversion when these forces are active, nor do they crave for them when these forces subside. They remain detached, undisturbed by the actions of the gunas, knowing that it is the gunas which act. They abide within themselves and do not vacillate. And I love that. I love that verse. I really do. It took a while to understand the gunas. It's also light, heat, and motion. If the rules of this material world, not the quantum state, not the non-dual state of spirituality, right here, right now. Why my hand cannot pass through this quantum soup. Why you experience joy and suffering through the sense contacts as well. The Gita, it's wonderfully pre-scientific, and its wisdom is remarkable. And let me share what I wrote. And I said, this is the secret, huzzah! Up. You know what I mean? And I put an arrow icon. This is before emojis, fellas and ladies, and anyone in between in the grand spectrum of humanity. But I say, man up. I do say that. Or woman up. Or human up. Or person up. Whatever you'd like. Pan up. P-A-N. Meaning it's a chef's action. To pan up something means to take your product and prepare it on the pan, ready to fire in the oven when you need it. Panning up. Can you pan up some bacon? Can you pan up some chicken? Pan up the veg du jour. It's own up. Cowboy up. And this was a few years after the Boston Red Sox of my fair city won the championship, the World Series, after in 2004. In 2003, they had this series of advertisements and T-shirts within the clubhouse, "Cowboy Up," and it's rodeo slang for orders when the bucking bronco rider is on the beast and about to be released into the arena. Cowboy up means here we go, and wake up too, which is great because this very well precedes any modern social connotations of being awake or not. But waking up means to wake up to the to your day, and because I'm a morning person, and a lot of this happens, this writing, this reading, this sussing out happens before the sun rises. And so that was the secret. And let's do just one more. This is from chapter 18, verse 48. This was written on March 31st, 2011, almost 11 years ago to this week. And this is near the end of the book. So let's see what the end of the book's got to say. All right, this is just, and let's see. I have to look back and see who is reading this. This is Krishna. And he's literally wrapping up all the ideas of the book. So this is 848. Krishna says, Sri Bhagavad Gita, no one should abandon duties because he or she sees defects in them. Every action, every activity is surrounded by defects, as a fire is surrounded by smoke. It's a good appeal to be like, don't get hung up on all those little details. I wrote down too, if you go to work and have that work to do, just do it. Just go to work, do your work. Don't bring it home with you in your head. Leave it there, and when you're there, do your job. Do your job well. Krishna also has a good pithy one saying that it's better to fail at your own job than to succeed doing the work of others. Do your own duty. Do your own job. Do it diligently. Live in Dharma. Live in cosmic truth. Yeah, so this has been The Notebook. Chapter, part 5. Yeah. Let me just make a little annotation there. Be like, yeah. Wow. This is great. I love doing this series because it shows, I can see how far I've come personally investing into this wisdom, into this system, into rebooting my hard drive with this operating system, this spiritual operating system. How it's contributed to my overall success as a human being and a human being, B-E hyphen I-N-G. Yeah, sorry. I spell horribly for ASL. I'm so out of practice. I need to relearn the alphabet again. Anything else for today? No, I'm going to wrap it up. Thank you so much for tuning in today. This has been Reverend Sully's Sunday Sermon. It is the Old Notebook, Part 5 in this ongoing series. And I'm going to put it into the Gratitude and Sunday Sermons playlist, which you'll find below as well. Tune in. I do a gratitude list every morning. I start with a foundation of 6 things, namely being I am grateful for my family, my friends, my faith, my freedom, my health, and my union job. And then I go off from there, and just for a couple of minutes, and I share the skill set with you because it was a gift to me, which really helped me transcend those gunas, transcend the forces of the day, whether, and sometimes they gang up on you. I suffer from the chronic mopies, the chronic angries, and the chronic lonelies. And seriously, sometimes the day still manages to gang up on me. But I have the ability to transcend those gunas, to transcend that emotional state. By reading my gratitude list a little later, I can count my blessings, and I get a greater sense of purpose. And I have very little regrets in this life. And one regret is that I did not learn this skill set earlier. It could have helped me out, but at least I got it, and at least I use it. And you can too. If you suffer from your own self-talk, if from your thoughts ganging up on you and clobbering you, there's a way out. And this is a great skill, and I hope you try it too. I'm also a professional chef. I make delicious, nutritious, and beautiful cooking videos. You can find them in the What's Cooking playlist and check them out. Yeah, so hopefully you can share this with your loved ones at your table. And if you do, take pictures and share. I also make a daily content. I talk about comic books every day. It's the golden age of DC Comics. And we go up, do a page a day. And it's great, old-fashioned comic book shop conversation. So tune into that and like and subscribe if you could be so kind. I'd appreciate that. And yeah, keep on keeping on. God bless you. Namaste. God bless. Good luck. May the force be with you. May the strength of others be on your side. May you be dead for half an hour in heaven before the devil knows you're dead. That's an old Irish saying. But all the same, it is tough, and it just keep going on. Bliss and joy. They exist. They're there. And it's hard not to be hung up on the negative. Gosh, I know. It is really hard. And I'm here for that. I'm here for you, and keep tuning in. Stay alive. Keep breathing. Keep working. Keep moving. Move your legs. Move your arms. Move your eyes. Move your head. Move your thoughts. Move your move your hips. Shake your hips. You know what I mean? And just keep on keeping on. God bless. Cheers.